Beijing's preschool system is on the verge of collapse due to the H1N1 flu outbreak. The US has dropped another bombshell on the origin of COVID-19, which is a nightmare for the CCP. While empty containers are still piling up in Chinese ports, officials falsely claim they are ready to be released. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Beijing's preschool system is on the verge of collapse due to the H1N1 flu outbreak. The H1N1 flu, a highly contagious respiratory illness, is currently spreading rapidly throughout mainland China, with Beijing bearing the brunt of the outbreak. According to recent reports from NTD-TV, a significant number of children in Beijing have contracted the virus, leading to the collapse of the city's kindergarten system. A Beijing resident said,
最近因为甲流暂时没有送依依去幼儿园，上周五送去一天，他们班只去了9个小朋友。最近北京的甲流来势还是挺凶的，身边很多朋友还有家里的孩子都中招了。
A Hebei resident said, "It feels like we've reached the peak of the H1N1 flu virus infection recently." While the H1N1 flu is an annual occurrence, this year's outbreak seems unusually severe. Despite initial hopes that the outbreak would soon subside, Guo Tantan, the general manager of the Department of Family Medicine at Beijing United Family Hospital, was taken aback to see that the H1N1 flu was still prevalent as of March 21st. He observed a steady influx of patients with no decline in the number of cases. A Shandong resident described the typical symptoms of the H1N1 flu, which is prevalent in her area.
差不多是一样的，就是发烧，头几天发烧，然后咳嗽好几天，甚至咳嗽的就是晚上就是很瘪，喘不动气，最后去打了5、6天的针吧，还是没有好。
On March 20th, experts from the Chinese Communist Party acknowledged that the H1N1 flu has been on the rise since early February and has now entered its peak period. They also conceded that the current infection rate remains high. However, due to the CCP's opaque data policies, the true extent of the epidemic remains shrouded in mystery. Consequently, many are skeptical of the so-called H1N1 flu and suspect that the authorities are attempting to conceal another ongoing COVID outbreak. NTD-TV reports that the global community is increasingly directing its attention to the origin of the COVID virus, also known as the CCP virus by many people. In January 2020, the Chinese CDC had previously uploaded data related to a coronavirus sample taken from Wuhan's H1N1 South China market to the Global Influenza Database, GIZ-8. However, the center deleted this data once again, raising suspicions. Recently, international experts have claimed that the epidemic could have originated from a Wuhan animal market's marten or badger. On March 17th, the World Health Organization accused China of withholding critical epidemic-related data from 3 years ago and subsequently deleting it yet again. The organization has called for China to immediately share the missing evidence with the international community. It is noteworthy that on March 20th, the same day that Xi Jinping visited Moscow, the United States took a significant step that could be viewed as a potential nightmare for the CCP. The US has dropped another bombshell on the origin of COVID-19, which is a nightmare for the CCP. According to the Epoch Times, on March 20th, US President Joe Biden signed into law the Covid19 Origin Act of 2023, which was earlier passed by Congress. He stated that the executive branch will make every effort to declassify and share information related to the origin of the COVID virus, or CCP virus, including any potential links to China's Wuhan Institute of Virology. As previously reported, Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri introduced the bill in response to accusations that the Chinese Communist authorities concealed the truth about the pandemic's origin. The bill received unanimous support from both parties in the United States Congress and primarily focuses on intelligence related to China's Wuhan Institute of Virology. Its main objective is to mandate the declassification of any information concerning potential links between the Wuhan Institute of Virology and the COVID-19 disease within 90 days. According to the Sound of Hope, Marco Rubio, Republican senator and vice chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, announced last week that he would soon release a comprehensive report revealing mountains of circumstantial evidence indicating that the COVID-19 pandemic may have come from an accident at the Wuhan laboratory in China. WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus recently emphasized the moral responsibility to trace the origin of COVID-19 and urged the exploration of all hypotheses about the pandemic's origin. An anonymous Chinese political observer told the Sound of Hope, "I think the US had evidence from the beginning, and now that the timing is right, they want to bring up these issues." The US operational mechanism over the past 2 years, including its understanding of the CCP, is more than just war mobilization, it is fully prepared. If you want to keep something a secret, you must not let others know. The CCP has played with fire and has no way to turn back. Looking back at history, the US has only suffered 2 traumas on its soil, Pearl Harbor and 9/11. The total death toll was around 5,000. This virus alone has directly caused over 1 million deaths in the US, which is also a significant trauma for the country. Therefore, I don't think the US will just let it go. Meanwhile, Chinese leader Xi Jinping is on a state visit to Russia, which marks his first foreign visit since being elected for a 3rd term. Putin and Xi have met 40 times since Xi became president in March 2013, and this visit may further strengthen their alliance. Commentator Wang Jian pointed out on his self-media channel that Xi Jinping's pro-Russian stance might lead to unimaginable sanctions against China by the US and other Western countries. Therefore, tracing the origin of the CCP virus becomes a core countermeasure that may have a nuclear bomb effect on the CCP. Wang said, "This topic has been brought up again recently, and the reason is Xi Jinping's visit to Russia." While empty containers are still piling up in Chinese ports, officials falsely claim they are ready to be released. China's foreign trade orders have suffered a significant decrease over the past 3 years due to the epidemic, resulting in a buildup of empty containers in major ports throughout the country, including Shanghai and Guangzhou. Free Asia Radio reported on December 5, 2022, that the official website of the China Ports Association had published a report on port production and operation monitoring and analysis. The report revealed that in November, the throughput of foreign trade containers had declined by nearly 10% year-on-year in 8 major hub ports, while the throughput of foreign trade empty containers had increased by almost 24% year-on-year. Citing market data, the Hong Kong One-Paper reported that the mainland's container vacancy rate had doubled since the epidemic, reaching 5 million standard containers as of February. The Shanghai Export Container Freight Index, SCFI, has experienced a 6-week consecutive drop below 1,000 points. On March 20th, the Director General of the General Administration of Customs of the People's Republic of China, Yu Jianhua, provided an explanation for the numerous piles of empty containers found in various ports. According to Yu, there are 2 primary reasons for this. Firstly, there has been an excessive amount of new container input in the previous period, and domestic storage costs are comparatively lower. Secondly, there has been a large-scale, short-term return of empty containers after the easing of the epidemic situation overseas. Yu also stated that a large number of empty containers present in Chinese ports is indicative of energy accumulation waiting to be released. While this development reflects the international market's sustained confidence in China's export capabilities in the next phase, it has been subject to significant criticism from the public. The Australian scholarly Yuanhua said,
明明是没有出口，经济低迷，他却给说成是这个蓄势待发。中共来讲，一直是他不会承认自己这个统治上的失误啊，造成那种经济萎靡啊，所以他才会把这种不好的事情，说成像好的事情一样。中共的这个统治，一直他就有一个就是谎言，任何事情他都要 骗。比如说这种学生毕业即失业，他就给换一种说法叫灵活就业呀，包括自主就业呀，其实就是没有工作失业人员，就类似于这样的，就非常的多，其实就是为了欺骗老百姓啊。
In analyzing the situation, American economist David Huang stated that the General Administration of Customs of China has provided clarification that is supported by its context.
2023年，我们看到中国以美元计价的出口跟进口是分别下降了 9.9 跟 7.5。很多传言说中国的各个主要码头、出口码头，像深圳像上海，大量的空置货柜，还有一些码头工人他们失业，就是一些货柜车也闲置，导致大家对于中国出口的一个情况有一个非常深度的一个忧虑。
According to an analysis by economist David Huang, China's export situation is not as favorable as it once was. 14 Asian countries, including Indonesia, India, Malaysia, Vietnam, and Thailand, have begun to take advantage of industries that China dominated in the past and have replaced China in the supply chain. Data shows that in the year from October 2021 to September 2022, these 14 Asian countries exported $634 billion worth of goods to the United States, slightly surpassing China's $614 billion. Moreover, Huang highlighted that companies are becoming increasingly concerned about the possibility of being sanctioned due to the tense relationship between China and the United States, as well as the Russia-Ukraine conflict. As a result, they are actively seeking to diversify their risks by withdrawing funds from China and losing orders. Mr. Huang added,
我目前的出口数据里面，相当部分是由那个出口东南亚国家来支撑的。但是我们按照过去历史数据来分析的话，中国的外贸的盈余，无论是顺差还是利润的话，主要是集中在中国出口美国跟欧洲两大市场。出口欧洲跟美国是中国的出口商品能赚钱，出口东南亚国家其实是吃力不讨好，就是只是赚个吆喝。所以为了中国的出口形势，或者是说那个产业结构的挑战跟困难还是蛮多的。
In response to concerns about this year's import and export foreign trade, Yu Jianhua stated at a press conference, as reported by NTD-TV, that imports and exports have been stabilizing and improving since February. However, according to Taiwanese financial expert Huang Shirtsong, this move by CCP officials seems to be aimed at boosting morale.
真实状怎么样？我觉得以今年的情形来说，市场上或者说整个研究机构偏向不乐观，因为譬如说像中国官方设定经济成长率5%，但是外资或者说国外的法人普遍认为是2.5%就很不错了。
Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We will keep reporting on the COVID surge in China, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos. And thank you for tuning in.